Hi everyone, it's Katrina and welcome back to another video. The last 2 weeks were super hectic and busy, especially with midterms, so I decided to combine everything in the video. At the start of my week 4, I had a psych exam. My class allowed one sheet of notes, so I went to go print it out and then rainbow highlighted everything. The exam took about 2 hours and I think I did pretty good. So then afterwards, I headed to my cancer research lab to do some data analysis. After lab, I went to YRL to have a long study sesh, and I can't forget my daily matcha. Once it was night, I headed back to my dorm to get some dinner with friends.
It looks pretty nice. Like, I'm glad I'm this organized.
The next day, I dedicated a lot of my time to studying because I had a physics midterm coming up. I first went to Kirchhoff to get some matcha, and then afterwards I headed to Agerman for some lunch. I then went to YRL to have a really long study session. I always love coming to this library because it's always so quiet and it keeps me focused for a long time. Once the sun started setting, I left the library and I headed to Westwood to buy some snacks and some supplies. I had dinner at Feast, and then also I bought some candy from Target, which you'll see soon.
I need a blunt. Honestly, it would look cute.
The next day, I was in lab for a few hours because I had to do some data analysis, and I conducted flow cytometry on humanized mice blood samples. After I left, I went to go get some lunch at Ackerman, and then I went to my physics lab. After class, I got a matcha and I headed towards my psych lab. After a long day full of labs, my parents picked me up and drove me home so that we can celebrate that, or Lunar New Year, all together. I was so happy to spend time with my whole family again, but at night I headed back to my dorm to catch up on some studying. The next day I had class early in the morning, so I went to go get some breakfast with my roommate Melanie.
What do you mean?
You just look like they, yeah.
I literally think so.
After lunch I headed to my psych lab to conduct some studies, but after those studies were completed, I invited my friends to my office so that we can hang out and study together.
Well, at least we only have one kid, so you can have $40.
Yay!
Is very sufficient.
After studying together for a few hours, I then headed to my physics class. After class, my friends and I had to conduct some clinic training, and then I also got to see Noah's cat. Afterwards, I headed to my dorm to prep for an all-nighter because I had a physics exam early in the morning. And my roommate and I are in the same class, so we were just suffering together. Physics isn't my strong suit, so this is why I'm doing an all-nighter. I highly don't recommend it, but at least I got to see the sunrise. Luckily, my professor lets everyone print out their own formula sheet, so I printed it out and I headed straight to campus to take the exam. After the really difficult exam, I headed back to my cancer research lab to do some flow cytometry. I didn't have any more content from that day because I ended up sleeping until the next morning, but at least I got to celebrate by getting brunch with friends.
Why does she like hang out with not him if she's so busy?
That's actually really
After eating brunch together, we headed to Michael's apartment to hang out and play some games, as well as some studying.
Carrie?
Once it was night, we all got dinner at Westwood at Amish Sushi, and it was super yummy. The next day we had to lock in again, so we went to Pret to study and get some
It
coffee.
wasn't gonna rain.
Crazy that it is.
You and your
Once the
freaking
cafe
egg.
closed, we went to go grocery shopping to make dinner that night.
Okay.
I don't be in the middle.
Why not? You could be the center of
I
attention.
don't want to be the center of attention.
Too bad. We're trying out organic sparkling rosé tea beverage. We're not sponsored.
Non-alcoholic.
Oh wait, should we cheers?
Okay. Right.
Oh, to what? A good
Too late.
quarter?
I'm not opened it already. Oh.
Well, it's Michael's room, not ours.
Thank you.
That's pretty good. It's like not as
It's
sweet
not
as I
sweet,
thought.
yeah.
Really hope you enjoyed our take on a drink review. This was Michael's idea, by the way, just saying. The next day I headed back to my cancer research lab, and then afterwards I headed to some classes. After classes, I went back to my dorm to study, and I was super excited because Feast was going to have such good food, and then afterwards my friends and I were going to pick up clinic supplies. The next day, I was in lab for about 4 hours because I had a ton of experiments to do, especially since I was doing cell counting. After lab, I went to go get lunch, and I was super excited because I was going to study at my favorite cafe with my
You
friends.
staring in it.
After studying in the cafe, I went back to my dorm to rest a bit. Later at night, I went to go get dinner with one of my closest friends, and then afterwards we conducted clinic training together.
We'll make it.
The next day, it was raining really hard, so Jesus and Melanie offered me a ride to my classes.
Latino blood. Latino.
After physics, I went back to my psych lab to conduct more studies. After my studies, I headed to class, and then afterwards, I went back to my dorm to rest. The next day, I had to go to both my labs again. However, I was super excited because I was going to host another meeting with my friends. I invited my friends to study with me, and then afterwards I went to Westwood to pick up some clinic supplies for our meeting later. It was raining really hard, but luckily a lot of people showed up and we had a great time.
Oh, Starships?
After the meeting and dinner, I headed back to my dorm to do some late night studying. The next day I was super excited because my club was hosting their first clinic of the quarter. For this clinic, I was able to partner with LA Mission, and during these clinics we offer free basic health screenings as well as educational pamphlets and kit distributions. We were able to service over 30 patients, and I had such an amazing team to help me throughout the whole process. I founded this organization a quarter ago, so this is only our second quarter in operation, and I'm so proud of how much it's grown and the impact we created on the community towards health equity. After the clinic, we went back to campus and I DoorDashed Chipotle for dinner. Afterwards, I did some chores and laundry, and I was super excited because that night, my friend was hosting a dinner and housewarming party. Later, Emma and I went to Ralph's to meet up with Michael because we were getting a last-minute housewarming gift.
You look so awkward. Why are you walking?
We'll make it. Yeah, we'll make it.
The next day, I got up early to catch up on my studies in my dorm. Then later, I met up with my friends to support Nick and watch him at his gymnastic meet. After Nick's great performance, we all went to brunch together, and my friend Sarah was able to join us too.
This looks okay, sorry.
After brunch, my friends and I went to Pratt to study some more. We stayed there until it closed, and then later I headed to Michael's apartment to cook up some dinner. After some setting, I went back to my dorm to shower and get ready because later that night we were going to a cafe in K-Town to study. We all have exams coming up, and this is our little tradition to get some cramming done.
Yeah, your plunger is just...
This is one of our favorite spots because not only does it have great drinks, but it also closes really late. Plus, Emma brought her camera so we were able to get some cute pics. I always love this little tradition because the atmosphere and aesthetic drinks really get me to lock in, and I always get a lot of work done. We got to the cafe at around 9, and we were gonna stay there until it closed.
I did literally 5 chapters.
He's just been playing chess this entire time.
Round 2 of the coffee.
I'm hired with that excuse.
I was so proud that I was able to get all my work done, and we all decided to go to BCD as a sweet treat.
Guys, you feel like walking?
I had an Uber call us out.
Good for you. Okay, so we're not actually.
It was 7:63. I'm charging you.
After everything, we headed back to campus, and it was 3 a.m., which was pretty late, and I had to get ready for the next day. The next day, I woke up pretty late, and I got lunch at B Plate. Afterwards, I headed to campus to have another long day of studying. I usually never study at Kirkhoff because it's so crowded, but on weekends there's usually some seats, so I got a matcha and I started my study session. After the cafe closed, I went upstairs to continue my study session. I stayed there for about 4 hours, and then later I headed back to the hill for some dinner. When I came back to the dorm, my roommates and I wanted to decorate our door with the cute decor Melanie's mom bought.
Girl, you're the tallest one.
Now I'm tall.
Thought you liked it, right?
It's like stuck on the outside. Oh.
There's no way this isn't a fire hazard.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to take the time to thank you all for watching up until this point. I combined 2 weeks of content, so this is a pretty lengthy video. I really hope you enjoyed, and again, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!
Oh, I'm recording the outside to have my ending montage, like, you know, where I'm like, thank you so much for watching!